Alright, Most High, please block anybody trying to interfere with this reading. Do step in and deliver your messages to we, your children. Hello. 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 Oh my god. So I've been called for duty today. I don't know what this is about. I just heard Donald Trump. Ibrahim Trarore again. America. Sierra Leone. Didn't that come up? Sierra Leone come up in the last one with China. With China. President of China, Xi Jinping. So I guess this is the same matter that God want to. It's like they need to hear from God. Yeah. Oh, let's get ready. Can I just say, I was hungry before I even started this reading, but my appetite is nowhere to be found. So this is going to be one of them readings. Okay? I'll try not to let my rumbling stomach disturb you. But I can't make any promises. I just don't feel like eating, man. I need to find something to munch on so I can keep my stomach quiet for you guys. Give me a moment. Just got paid and I got a little money to burn. He said he gotta get laid, gotta find him a sexy girl. Oh, so hungry? Grab a sticker. We give thanks to the inventors of Snickers. It actually work. For me, anyway. Alright. So, this message is for Donald Trump, Ibrahim Trarore, America, and Sierra Leone. I don't really watch the news, but it's like I haven't been hearing Sierra Leone's name being called at all. I don't know if this one is being kept out of the news because it doesn't even come up on my Facebook feed or nothing like that. It just came to me. So if you guys don't know, if you guys, the wider public, don't know of this link, then this is something that's being kept hush-hush behind the scenes, yeah? But those whose names I just called, they know what's going on. I have on fingernail polish, guys. Feel like a rock chick. Only one though. Okay. So, mhm. Okay. Is that right? Like a minute. Like a minute. Like a minute. I'm getting paper. Like a minute. Oh, fresh it then. Oh, fuck up. Okay, hands are dry. Well, I've been guided to 4 decks, so it look like this is gonna be a long one. So this is for Donald Trump, Ibrahim Trarore, America, Sierra Leone, China, Xi Jinping. Okay? I hope I'm saying your name right. Alright, let's get into this. Okay. Hmm. Is that right? I'm fresh it then. Motherfucker. Alrighty. So the subject matter of this part of your message, we got number of persons involved, 16 to 20. Okay. So let's get the message. Okay, here's a piece like this. They believe you will beg. That's the message. They believe you will beg. So somebody's holding out. Somebody in this scenario is holding out because they believe you're gonna beg. Ego. As usual. Like, what's the point? Hmm? What's the point? How detrimental is this situation that's going on between Donald Trump, Ibrahim Traore, America, Sierra Leone, and Xi Jinping. What is more important in this situation? They believe you will beg. What's the point? What exactly is taking place behind the scenes while your ego is the one driving? Whichever of you I'm talking to, you know who you are that's expecting whoever to beg. What is falling apart behind the scenes while you are waiting for somebody to beg you for something? Because the world doesn't stop. So is your ego this important to be pleased in this situation? If you have what they need, you already are the one that has what they need. So why you want them to beg you? You feel like if they beg you, that give you more power? And if you put them in this situation right now, you're only opening the doors for them to do the same shit to you later. Are you gonna like it when the tables turn and it's your turn to beg? You are the people who are leading. You are the people who are in charge of society. A whole bunch of people, millions of lives are in your hands on a daily basis. And you act like you're just carefree schoolboys on a playing field. Make yourself make sense. I was happy to come back to do readings again, but good God, this is the type of shit that I have to read most of the time. This part is not fun. Children in grown men's bodies. Which one of you are behaving like this? So the underlying issue we got here is we can't, but God can. So God is saying, fuck you to whoever you are that's expecting them to beg. So you feel like you have all the cards and all the power in your hand, but you don't. God can make a way out of no way. So that's what God wants you to know. You who are expected to beg, God wants you to know you don't have to beg this idiot for anything. I don't care which one of y'all are being an idiot. An idiot is an idiot. A whole bunch of people's lives are affected by your decisions on a daily basis. And this is how you behave. God say, we can't, but God can. So you can't do it yourself, but God can. And if you don't feel like begging this idiot, you don't have to beg this idiot. Watch God make a way for you out of no way. Seemingly no way. God created the sun, the moon, and the stars. You have no reason to doubt that God can provide whatever this thing is. You do not have to bow. You do not have to beg whoever this is. Okay? So we can't, but God can. We got number of persons involved, more than 5,000. We have, they did it in another country, state, or island. So is this something where you can actually depend on the people to get you whatever it is that you want? Instead of begging this idiot, maybe you should just go to the people. Because they did it elsewhere. You do not have to bow. See, this is the type of mindset that keeps the world under siege. We forget that God is an option. We forget that we can't, but God can. And when we forget about God and God's abilities, we subject ourselves to these humans and their tiny ass little minds. These fools. And the cycle just keep going round and round and round and round. Learn how to say fuck you to people who expect you to beg. At whatever the cost. Take the risk. You're better off taking the risk. Because if you're in the right, God will make sure that you come out on top. We have to stop being afraid to suffer for the right. Suffer for our honor. Suffer to keep our dignity intact. We don't want to suffer for anything. So we fall for every little stupid thing that comes across our way. There is another option. You don't have to kiss nobody's ass. It's time that we stop kissing ass. Stop kissing unworthy asses. That's how you lose. Over and over and over and over and over. Walk through the fire. Take the path less traveled. Don't be afraid as long as God is with you. Your last reading was telling you you need to bring God in your situation. Or the reading before that. This is probably about the 4th time now you people are coming across my desk. God is not supposed to be something that you put on a shelf. God wants to be utilized. God wants to be part of our lives. Give God the opportunity to show up and show out for you. Stop allowing your fear to make the decisions in your life. You're allowing your fears to drive your destiny. Stop allowing your fears to lead you to your destiny. You're not going to like the destination that you end up at. Allow your faith to trump your fear. Say, fuck you. I can't, but God can. I don't have to kiss your ass. That's how you put an end to this perpetual siege, this perpetual enslavement, this perpetual, you call it when you're just down below people, fucking eating the crumbs. You deserve better. So you need to act like it. Act like you got somebody in your life who can bring you better. That somebody is God Almighty. This is not the season for us to try and do everything ourselves. This is the season where God wants to be recognized. It is time. It's been time for a long time. But if you want to win, get on board with God. Stop allowing people to make you bow to them for nonsense. They're not worthy. But do what you like. So anyhow, let's continue. So we got fake social media accounts. They're expecting to hear from you. So this idiot is expecting to hear from you. We got number of persons involved, more than 10,000. We got day one or succeeded, but that's fake account. So somebody is lying. It's delusional. It would never happen. So this person is trying to convince you that other people did whatever this bowing is. And they make all type of social media accounts or posts or whatever, but they're lies. So what this person is doing, the one who want you to bow, they're creating a narrative to make you believe that it's okay for you to bow too because they did it over there. But all that is lies. So whoever they're saying bowed to them, they didn't bow. It's lie. It's a lie. Okay? I don't know which one of you this is that's doing whatever is going on here. But and look, God said they knew better. They knew that that shit wouldn't work. So whoever they tried this nonsense on, that shit didn't work. And they knew that it wouldn't work. So what they do is they created like video evidence or audio evidence or newspaper stories or whatever to make it seem like whatever they're claiming happened actually happened, but it did not. It's a lie. Okay? Okay. So, let's get your next message. We need to start relying on God more. Then we won't have to bow to these idiots, these unworthy fools. This is how I win my fight. It's because I rely on God. It works. I'm a living, breathing, walking testimony. This God thing, it works. It's a trade-off. Just like you would trade off with anybody else or anything else. You trade off with God. You offer God your obedience. God offer you his protection. So when you're considering all these things and people to do business or deals with, remember, God is an option. Okay? It shit work. I'm here, aren't I? Anybody who knows my story and you look at me, you know what I've been through. So you know that I know what I'm talking about. Okay? I did the shit. Oh God. Wait, look at the cards that want to show themselves. So we got good credit, exactly, good karma, good karmic credit. And we got mystery spot. God. Okay? God can hide you. God can lift you up. God can take you down. God can get you out. Whatever you need, bruv. There was a war spoken of in the Bible, and God made the sun to stand in the sky. When the sun was supposed to set, I think it was Joshua. They were having a war or something for the land. And, I mean, they need the light to see to kill all who they needed to kill, innit? So God made the sun just stand still, because what? God is God. God can do that. Why would you want to work with any other power? Why would you not want to work with God? You see, it's because a lot of people, you misperceive God because you're not taught the real God. You're not taught who God is for real, for real. You learn God from your preacher and from your grandparents and from your parents. But everybody have their own experience with God. You need to open the doors to have your own experience with God. Okay? Because my experience with God is God is merciful, God is kind, God is a teacher. God don't expect us to be perfect. There's no need to fear God. We need to love God and respect God. Because God only wants the best for each and every last one of us, no matter what we've done in our past. God wishes us no bad. We create the bad for each other and for ourselves. But if we follow God's instruction, we won't create no bad for each other or ourselves. And when people create bad for you, God protect you because of your good credit. There's no insurance company like you can get with God. God is the best insurance company you can find. God is the best everything you can find. The best doctor, the best lawyer, the best parent, the best friend, the best husband, the best wife is God. You people are too old to be to be so dumb. You people are too old to be so ignorant. Have you not been paying attention to life at all? What have you learned? I know some of you call on God's name, but what have you learned from your walk with God? Every gospel in the Bible is somebody else's testimony of their interaction with God. We're supposed to have a gospel of Trump, a gospel of Trarore, a gospel of Chanel, a gospel of Xi Jinping. Everybody's supposed to have their own story to tell about their walk with God and what they learned. God don't show up the same for everybody. Your God journey is a personal one. Stop locking yourself off in the box that your grandparents and your pastor and your imam and your everybody built for you as to who God is. It's a great foundation, but make sure you understand your God that you trod with for yourself. It's a very powerful thing. It's the most powerful. And that's why I'm still here, looking how I'm looking, talking how I'm talking, still going as strong as I'm going. It's God. I chose to believe in God, not in religion. Not in culture, not in tradition. I chose to believe in God. Because as time shifts, different things shift. At one part of the story in the Bible, it was okay for people to sin and carry a goat or a cattle or whatever and give up a burnt offering. That was the tradition. That was acceptable at one point. And then the rules changed. So if you're not aware of the rule change, you get left behind doing what doesn't work. God doesn't want any burnt offerings anymore. God wants us as the sacrifice, the living sacrifice. What does that mean? That means self-discipline. That means building a relationship with God, walking with God consciously. If you didn't get the memo, as somebody living back in that time, if you didn't get the memo that this burnt offering shit don't work anymore, you'd keep burning goat and pig and, well, if pigs was acceptable, I don't know, but you keep burning goat and cattle and sheep and all type of thing, thinking that God is pleased with you when God is not. And it was way too easy for people to commit sins and then just take another animal or the best of their crop after they plant their food and whatnot, and then go out and commit more sin and come back in. So God is like, no, that don't make no sense. You're not feeling anything. You need to feel the burn. You need to tell yourself no when you really want to tell yourself yes, because of the reasoning behind why it's better to accept a no. We got private bank. So with God, you can't make credit. Nobody can get to anything that belongs to you. It's not just about money. Even your money. Right now, people are wondering, where's my money? They don't see my money in the physical. They even shut down my bank account. But I'm provided for abundantly. I have more than I need. I got things being pushed on me, and I have to say, no, I'm cool, I'm cool, I'm cool. And I haven't made a penny of my own in so long, years. God will provide for you. We can't, but God can. God is the mystery spot. Nobody can see you when God hides you. Nobody can convince you once God has spoken to you. Nobody can change your mind once God has spoken to you. You gain power over yourself, self-mastery. The only puppet master in your life should be God. Not people being able to drag you here and there and everywhere just because they have something that you need. There's more than one way to provide what you need. So if you're just looking at this one source and this one source is asking you to kiss my ass, suck my nasty fungusy big toe, and you swallow your pride and you do that shit, you deserve whatever you get, and they only gonna keep on degrading you because you chose to forget about God. God don't do that. God don't degrade us like that to get what we want. And when God said no, trust that it's for your protection. You may not understand why you're getting a no right away, but you will. God has nothing but good intentions for us. Real life, unconditional love. It doesn't matter who you are or what you've done in your past. God wants the best for you. And that's why people see wicked people getting blessed and wondering, how is that even possible? It's because God is just good like that. When you see wicked people get their judgment, is because they push and 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 push the line and went over the boundary. And God said, God just sit back and watch, because the way how the laws of nature is set up, shit, if you don't listen and you keep going where you're going, you're going to fall over that cliff. And you know you're going to fall over that cliff. Or maybe you heard somebody say you're going to fall over the cliff, but you didn't believe, so keep going and fall over the cliff then. Once you learn this lesson, you'll never forget. That's how God moves. That's the God I know. God gives us the desires of our heart just to show us that it was not beneficial to us. And that's why wicked people have the power to do wicked things to people. But the victims, we get a certain type of protection. So every wicked thing that they try to do to you, there's a certain type of protection that only allow them to go so far and no further. When they expect to do 100% damage, God allow them to do maybe 3%. That's protection. That's not what they intended. I'm telling you my living testimony. We have every reason to trust in God and no reason to not trust in God. We need to get to know God. We can't do this without God, especially when you're in a leadership position. You need proper advice. You need professional advice. Who you gonna get that from? The people around you? The blind leading the blind? Nah, you need professional advice. That's where God comes in. Because God sees all and knows all. God knows the beginning, God knows the ending, God knows the middle. Why would you go to any other source? I don't understand you humans. And I'm 44 years old and I learned this lesson so long ago. So why we got people in their 60s and 80s and whatnot still doing nonsense with their lives, like they've learned nothing from their interaction with the universe? The signs are always there to guide us. You don't need to kiss nobody ass for anything. You just have to be willing to suffer a little bit for what is right. It's better you take this the hard way. Sometimes it's better you go the hard way. And the hard way meaning the way that calls on your faith. Believing in the unseen. Believing in the love of God for you. Little old you. God is not like humans. God is not like us. And for that, God is worthy of worship. God is not like us. And that's what makes God God. We tend to measure God by our own yardstick. God is not like us. God is very much not like us when it comes to its characteristics, its mindset, its philosophy. God is not like us. We are selfish. We are quite capable, all of us, of being susceptible to the 7 deadly sins. God is not like that. God has mastered itself. God does not fall. God does not make mistakes. And that's the type of certainty that you could walk with when you walk with God. Even if things don't look like how you expected them to look. Even if things don't go how you thought they would go, you need to trust the process. It's not you driving the ship. You called in the captain, trust the captain. Tell these people, fuck off. Stop bowing to unworthy people. And expect a good outcome for yourself. That's silly. That's senseless. Because you're already training them to see themselves as above you. They're going to keep pushing you. And these humans are sick. Their ego has made them sick. They're mentally ill and blind. They suffer from the 7 deadly sins. They don't make sense. Unless you see that they're suffering from the 7 deadly sins. Unless you see that it's their ego that drives them. Not logic. Not uprightness. Not respect for God and God's rules or expectations. It's by their own selfish desires. Hedonism. And nihilism. That's what drives most leaders, especially. They think they're God. In a way, they're right. In a way. We are all God. But we're not the God. We need to tap into source in order to access our God power. So imagine, you're God, but you're tapping into whoever this idiot is as your source. Do you see the mathematics? You see the problem? Do you see how you're cheating yourself? You choose to put your trust and faith, you choose to worship that idiot rather than give your faith and your trust to the real source of all. I don't know what they be teaching y'all in church and in these mosques and in these temples and wherever else you go. to learn about God from. They're not teaching y'all the right thing at all. I'm sorry. It's shown in the way that the world revolves socially, economically, philosophically. It shows. What you put in is what you're going to get out. So the world is full of nonsense. That means when you're putting in, you're getting in nonsense from whoever you got feeding you. It's nonsense. Champions raise champions. Confused people, they produce confused people. God raised me. I was fed, clothed, and sheltered by my elders, but they didn't raise me. They didn't program me. They tried, but I was already programmed. I was built how I was built, so I rejected that which did not resonate with my uprightness. Since I was a little child, I valued my uprightness. Anybody who would be honest with you about who I was as a child, they would tell you that. I believed in God from I was 4. I was conscious of God at the age of 4. I believed in prayer at that age. So God has been training me from the beginning and beyond in my past lives. So I knew to believe in God. I knew to believe in prayer. It's not a joke. And I've been doing it ever since. And here I am today with basically the whole fucking world fighting against me. Ostracized from society. Lied on. Bullied by the most powerful people in the world. And yet I don't look like what I'm going through. How? It's the God in me. It's the God I walk with. It's the God I choose to put my faith in. If God created the sun and the moon and the sand and the soil and the air and the trees and the seed, we don't even know which one comes first, the chicken or the egg. We don't even know. But God knows. So why would I not put my trust in God? We go around here worshiping these elements and not paying attention to the creator of these elements. We go around using these elements and we do not honor the one who created and sustains these elements. The head creator. Everything that we create, we only create because the head creator created the other things that we use to create the things that we create. If you don't want to hear what I'm saying right now, fuck off and go someplace else. You think I'm talking too much? Get the fuck off my life. This message is not for you, obviously. I prayed before I started doing this video, so everything that I say in here, somebody need to hear it. If you don't want to hear it, fuck off. Keep your bad energy to yourself. I can feel you, I can hear you. Fuck off. Do not disrupt the class. Idiot. The one that hit your conscience, eh? You use the elements all day, every day, and you do not think to give thanks to the one who created them. You're out of order. A guilty conscience need no accuser. Everything was fine until I said that. Bitch. The very air you breathe was created by the head creator. Your very flesh that you live in, the very spirit that is you, was created by the head creator. You ungrateful being. If it bothers you, maybe you should say thanks. It'll make you feel better. If you never say thanks to the head creator in your life, maybe you should take the opportunity to say thanks now. Y'all know better than to come here watching my lives, you know. I change lives. We are movers and shakers over here. We don't come to play. We are here for people who actually want to heal. People who actually want to win. People who actually want to understand life. People who actually want to live a meaningful life. People who actually want to fill their soul. Soul food. We feed grown-ups over here. Or people who actually want to become grown-ups. Leave if this is not your thing. I should be getting paid for the type of information that I'm giving out here. For free. It's a good thing God is a just God. And I'll be compensated anyway. This is the difference between life and death. This conversation. This conversation will help people to build a firm foundation for themselves. God first. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and its righteousness, and all things will be added unto you. These are people who have been paying attention to how the universe works. They realize you have to have gratitude for whoever said that. What kind of life must that person have lived to discover that if they seek God first and put God's righteousness first, that they will be successful. We thank God for that person who was brave enough to believe in the unseen. How did they even discover God? Or did God reveal itself to them? See, I don't do empty vessels. I'm not a time waster. Okay, usually. There's a time to just relax. But yeah, when it's time to be serious, it's time to be serious, bruv. This is a matter of life and death. This is a matter of success and failure. We need to have a firm foundation to stand on. Or else nothing else makes sense. You only go and lead yourself towards failure after failure after failure after failure after failure. Who has time for that? Nobody fail ever. But you need to have the right tools, the right information by your side. Everything has to be in alignment for you to win. You cannot plant peas and expect corn to grow. If you want corn, you have to plant corn. If you want peas, plant peas. If you want apple, plant apple. If you want watermelon, plant watermelon. Duh. If you want to win, you have to make winning moves based on a winner mindset. Simple mathematics. But y'all listening to the wrong people. Who be listening to the wrong people? Who been obviously listening to the wrong people? Who been listening to the wrong people? It's time to break the cycle. This is what they call generational curse. Breaking generational curses. That's what I do. That's why people hate me so much. The wrong people anyway. The right people love me. But those who benefit off of our ignorance, they hate my guts. They try to kill me on a regular. But God saves me on a regular. And they're confused. Why won't this bitch die? Because I'm not meant to, idiot. God wants to use me. God built me for this, so I'm staying. Everybody got their people. If you love demonic stuff, you got people out there who's on the same demonic vibe with you. We love God things over here. Why you coming trying to disturb our party, man? Why you coming trying to disturb our class, man? If you don't like what we got going on over here, leave. Duh. You don't have to hate. Leave. You know we're about to rise and kick your ass. That's why you're afraid. Ain't nobody told you to play for the wrong team. It's time for my gods to wake up. Come to take over. We come to take our powers back from all those who've been sucking that shit from us. It's mine and I want it. Thank you. If you won't give it to me, I'm just gonna take it. It's because it's mine. Take your power back. That's what we do. You scared? You scared, bitch? There's time to switch teams. How you gonna fight against the right? and expect to win. Are you dumb? Nah, you're not dumb. You think everybody else is dumb. That's why you lie to us to confuse us because you think we're dumb. That's insulting. That's naughty. And that's why we're going to take our power back. And then your shit's just automatically going to fall. We don't even have to fight you. We just have to take power over ourselves. You see, we can't control the system, but we can control ourselves. And if each person chooses to control themselves, the system naturally falls. Okay, so at the bottom of the deck, my loves, we have, a mine. Mine. Okay, so something belonged to somebody. I guess that's why they're being stingy. Like, you have to kiss my ass to get it. That's where you're supposed to say, fuck off. We can't, but God can. Just watch. When was the last time you saw a miracle happen? Fucking idiot. That's supposed to be your response. I don't have to kiss nobody's ass for anything. Ever. If I have to kiss your ass, that means I'm not supposed to be linking with you. Because God didn't put me here for me to be degraded by anyone. When after God, all of us are on the same level. The only one that's above anybody is God. So all the angels, all the deities, all our ancestors that we put on pedestals above ourselves, they don't belong up there. No disrespect to them. They are flawed like ourselves. So there's God and then there's all of us. So whose ass is worthy to be kissed when God can do all things? Make yourself make sense. What you believe can either make you or break you. Check this. Check this one. Okay, so the message we got. The subject matter was mine. So we got junior staff. So somebody's not junior. Somebody's not new to this. Okay? You're not new to this. You're acting like you're new to this. I guess because you keep making the same mistakes over and over and over. But you know how this shit works. That's what God is saying to you. You know how this shit works. We got kids' account in the reverse. You're acting like a child, but you're not. So what you've been telling yourself, what you've been doing, you keep doing the same shit over and over again, and that just puts you in debt. You keep putting yourself in the hole because you're acting like you can't do any better. You're not acting like a grown-up. You're not taking charge of your life by giving power to God. You're giving power to your fellow men. You're relying upon your fellow men. And your fellow men are not nice people. So you keep putting yourself in debt. The underlying issue, it's terrible. Recession. They're just gonna keep you going backwards. Look, we got a witness. You've seen this shit happen already. You're putting yourself on a negative trajectory. Misappropriation of company funds. Misappropriation of your loyalty. Misappropriation of your dependence. You don't have no business depending on these people if they want you to kiss their ass. They already started off wrong. That's your cue to say, this meeting is over. Then you go to pray. It's not a joke. You don't have to do a long prayer. Your prayer could go like this: God, you see, you know, and I trust you. That's your prayer. And watch how things unfold. That's an invitation for God to work in your life. So now it's your duty to watch how things unfold in your life, where your dignity stays intact. Your power remain with you. And this idiot that wants you to beg, they're going to watch you in awe, feeling dumb. You see how the power shift? Simple mathematics. Whoever y'all been learning about God from, they don't know what they're talking about. Too much church and not enough God. Too much mosque and not enough God. Too much Bible reading and too much Quran reading and too much temple going and not enough God. God isn't in the building, God is in you. God is forever with you, waiting to be acknowledged and used, depended upon. You keep pushing God aside, looking at your fellow men. When all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God, who you think you can rely on to bless you and allow you to keep your dignity? These leaders are very flawed. They're unworthy, but they want to be worshipped. They didn't make whatever it is that you need from them. Stop acting like a child. Big men and big women, we depend on God. We defy logic. We are above. Only those on our level can perceive us correctly. We are angels. That's how I know angels are flawed. We could be an angel today and a devil tomorrow. It's based on our choices. If you understand life like an angel and you apply what you know, you live like an angel. And that don't mean that everything is perfect. It does. What it means is nature is always on your side. That's what that means. It doesn't mean everything is perfect. It doesn't mean that nobody's going to attack you. It doesn't mean that you're not going to hurt or cry or feel like you want to do drugs or something to help you. You know what I'm saying? But it does mean that you have control over yourself and your destiny. Because even at your lowest points, you make the best decision for you. Always. Maturity. Because it comes from the wisdom of knowing that God is in full control. God is real. God wants the best for me and my people. What we believe can either make us or break us. And it does so every day. The things we choose to believe is the things that govern us. The things that govern us is the things that decide our fate. The mind. It's your most powerful tool. Fill it with information wisely. Be selective. Dissect the information that you're allowing to get into you and govern you. It's not a joke. Your success starts with your mindset. God is an option. Let God lead you to the people who will be willing to help you without diminishing your self-respect. They're out there. Only God can link you with them, though. Power struggles destroy companies. Power struggles destroy aims and objectives. You need to be on one accord with the people you choose to work with, or else there'll forever be opposition. So you not only have problems outside that you're trying to solve, you have to deal with problems inside too. You're working with the wrong people. And God is trying to tell you that, but you're not taking the hint. You're settling. You don't need to settle. Sometimes it's even better to be alone. You get more done. Oh yeah, you're never alone. God is always with you. My bad. My very bad. God is like, what about me? My bad. We're never alone. Oh, okay. So we got the God card. Then we got age, birth to 10 years. So that's like a full cycle. Because 10, they say, is endings. Okay. So it's like full from the beginning to the end. So it's not really talking about 10 years. It's talking about forever. Okay. And then we got Chinese. Description Chinese. What's that about? I don't know. At the bottom of the... Ooh, we got criminal at the bottom of the deck. Xi Jinping, is this you being so naughty, wanting people to kiss your ass? Ah, oh, okay. You're the bad guy. God said, I got something for you. If only they would trust in me. So God said, yeah, take me with you for your whole life, bruv. I've been with you for your whole life. I don't ever go nowhere. You just don't acknowledge me. But God is saying, don't forget about me. I'm sorry, Most High. I'm sorry. Yeah. Sometimes all we have is ourselves and our God. Bam. We're never alone. My bad. I said that wrong. Whew. Hang on. Yes, I'm still dealing with this shit. It's not as bad as it used to be. I would have been blowing my nose right now. It's a lot better. But it's still here. They tried to kill me. But God said no. No, 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 no. Got to get the fuck out of here with that. Touch not my anointing. Neither do my prophets no harm. Gotta know who you are in the struggle, okay? Or else you lose. The airways are pretty clear. It's not too bad. I'm sorry, but I got to do what I gotta do. Mm. Okay. Mm. Okay, so the subject matter of this part of your message. Okay, so we got a birthmark. Hmm. So, birthmark. Hmm. What do I know about birthmarks? Not very much. Judging from my own birthmark, I would say it has something to do with our past. It's something to do with our identity, our personal identity. Because mine look like the Nefertiti bust, the Nefertiti head. And I do believe I am she. Or I was. Now I am me. Sounds crazy? Yeah. It, oh wait. Like, camera action. Ah. Wait. This here. See, to the world it looks upside down, but when I look down at it, and isn't it funny how it's on my titty? It's on my titty, man. So yeah, it looks like the Nefertiti bust, but on mine, you know the Egyptians have these things that they put on their headwear. Mine has that. My birthmark has that. There's something on the headwear. So it's like goes up and then there's something on the headwear. I don't know what that is. I don't remember that. Okay? But I've always felt like I belong in a temple somewhere, I swear. Yeah. Anywho, we're not going to get too much into that. But birthmark. What I'm going to do is pull a card to get what God is actually guiding us towards with this birthmark energy. Because it's like, I'm getting also with it, like, you know, Africa for the Africans, China for the Chinese. Africa for the African, China for the Chinese, Europe for the Europeans. And what's the other one? Whatever the other one is. Everybody seems to have their place on earth. But everybody want to go into everybody's place and take it over somehow. So let's get some clarification as to what God means by birthmark. What God intends for us to understand with the birthmark card. Okay, so concerning the birthmark. Okay, so we got clever at the bottom. Okay. I'm getting like, I made you with sense, didn't I? Shit. But your fears cripple you. I made you intelligent. I'm seeing something here. It's like there's a beast here, like watching me. And it's like this. It's like it's got some Chinese looking eyes. It feels very, I'm bigger and better than you, and you're getting on my nerves. That's the way that's the energy it's giving off. Fuck off. We don't care. The truth shall have a voice. And anybody found in opposition of the truth, you deserve to fall from your high place. Period. Ain't nobody told you to be on the wrong side of the truth. I wasn't there when you were making that stupid decision. Don't be mad at me. So first of all, which one of these cards go first? Even the way how the cards popped out. This? Okay. We're clarifying birthmark, yeah? Okay, so clarifying birthmark, we got beggar. And the underline, the subject matter of the birthmark card was clever. So you went from being clever to being a beggar. And this one we got wasting in the reverse. So when you're a beggar, you cannot be wasteful. Everything becomes precious. Waste not, want not. So you went from being clever to being a beggar. And look at Africa. Why is it that Africa is the most what's the word? Africa has everything. And yet still it's considered, these people are considered the poorest. Yet Africa supplies everywhere with just about everything. Okay, don't quote me on that, but Africa supplies a great deal of places with a great deal of natural resources. Yet its people are not benefiting. The country itself isn't benefiting. Africa is the cradle of civilization, medicine, architecture. Why is it that people need to come in from outside to do basic things in Africa? Something went wrong for you to go from being clever to a beggar. So, the underlying issue we have is prejudice. Being mean for no reason. Clever. And that's how they keep you a beggar. Just be mean to you for no reason. And you allow them to because you choose not to turn your face to God. You choose to depend on your enemies to feed you and provide for you. And your enemies require you to lick their boots, their dirty boots, before they give you what you need. Why would you work with somebody who treats you like that? You put yourself in that position. So, birthmark. Going from clever to beggar, and they want to keep Africa like that. Philosophy, medicine, architecture, jewelry making, fashion, you name it. The African peoples before us, magic, the African peoples before us were the heads. They were at the front. Because of their research, because of their life experiences, because of their notes, because of them, the world was able to progress. And now look at Africa. You got everything there, yet you have nothing. Comes from a series of bad choices. That is as a result of bad choices, bad business partners who don't mean you any well, and God wants to know, when are you going to see the pattern and break it? These people don't have no good intentions for you. You need to rely more on your God. Everybody wants a piece of Africa. Everybody is moving into Africa and taking a piece of Africa. And taking everything that Africa has to offer. And then look how they treat the African peoples. Like shit. They look at us like we're shit. Like we're the scum of the earth. Why? Because we are weak. They look at us that way because they can come in and do whatever the fuck they like and get away with it. So they have no respect for us. We don't respect each other. We don't even respect ourselves. And we've forgotten about God. We deserve it. God made us clever. We made ourselves into beggars by being bowers. Yes, sir, master. Settling for less every time. God say if you want them to be your provider, well, go on then. You already know how they're going to treat you. Or you can allow me, God, to be your provider. So you can stand tall like you're supposed to. Like I made you and the people before you. Y'all kiss ass for the smallest little shit. Y'all not supposed to kiss ass for nothing. God is your provider. So the card we have to come out, we got age 81 to 100 years. Let's see, it was in the reverse. Let's check the energy. Hmm. It feels the same both ways. We'll put it down sideways. So we got 81 years to 100. And the underlying issue is living grand. So birthmark. God made you clever. You turned yourselves into beggars. Okay? God gave you everything that you need and say, run this. And you allow other people to come in and run you. And run it. Okay? The underlying issue is living grand. So these old people are living grand. Then we got age 41 years to 60. And then we got the description card with blankness, emptiness. So the old people are living grand and the younger people, they're in a state of nothingness. So between 41 and 60, they're in a state of nothingness. So the elders were living grand. Now you young people who came and took over, y'all ain't doing nothing. We got characteristic, 61 to 80 years. Will learn life lessons. So now, the young people are starting to wake up and they're starting to see. Because if you look, we got 81 to 100. The cards came out in succession of years. We got 41 to 60. Then we got 61 to 80. So it starts off the 41 to 60 years, 61 to 80 years, and then 80 to 100 years. So our elders lived better lives than we did. The elders lived better than the youngers, but God wants you guys to know that now the young people are waking up. And you're going to learn some life lessons about your divine authority. Take your power back. You're going to learn life lessons about what's rightfully yours. Look, we got these fake license. These false people are coming in, acting like they're all high and mighty and you need us and you have to listen to us and we got description Caribbean, simpler life. So the Africans who were taken to the Caribbean, we live a much simpler life. We don't struggle like you guys struggle in Africa, and that's for real. So you're going to learn to stop giving your power away and stand in your divine authority. So that means some things are about to happen that are going to make you wake up and take control of your life. And then you too can be living grand like your elders did. So there's things that you're missing. Life lessons. There are things that you're not understanding about life that make your life harder for you. Something to do with your divine authority, your rights, your inherent God-given rights that nobody can take from you, no matter how scary they try to come in. So the elders, they knew. They were closer to their God. Look, we got European, 21 to 40 years, fluent in multiple language. Look, And you know they like to come and change their race. Meat suit. Because they wanted a new life. So they just move into Africa and take over the shit. And they're on a mission. This guy's age 11 to 20. It's a lie. And the secret is out. Interesting. So we got age over 3,000 years. Specific marks on body, cuts, bruises, moles, or any other thing. Some kind of specific mark. And does the energy seem familiar? So this mark is more about a soul thing. It's a spirit thing. But whatever is happening here, it happened before. Then we got fake passport. So basically it's about these people coming in and taking over your shit. You need to stop allowing these people to come in and take over your shit. Now, the rule is we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but spiritual wickedness in high and low places. So this is where you need to pray so that God can give you the guidance as to how to do this in the right way, because what is yours is yours. What belongs to China belong to China. Because there's no black man that could go into China and talk about you or run anything. See, this is why these people don't like me. But Xi Jinping, you know, you're wrong. You're being a bully. You're being a bastard. And you know you're wrong. It's criminal. Nobody should have to kiss your ass to get what is rightfully due to them, which is common human respect. So fuck you if you think I'm being rude. You need to take a look in the mirror at the epitome of rudeness. You're out of order. Africa does not belong to you or your people. Am I telling the truth or not? Y'all are just mean. And I pray that the African people stand up for their right with their God. Like me. China for the Chinese. Africa for the Africans. The black bitches. The black bastards. The black motherfuckers. Africa belong to them. Us. Let's get the last message. See the type of world that we live in. Because I'm not afraid to speak up for the truth. We got basically every powerful person in the world recruiting other people to hate on me, to hurt me, to make my life so miserable in hopes that I end my own life. Keep wishing. Because as far as I can see, I'm winning still. And I will continue to be winning with my God. The Bible said, if God be for us, finish the sentence. It was written because it was seen, lived, experienced. I have seen, lived it, and experienced it, so I can vouch for that. That part of the Bible is telling the truth. If God be for us, it's more than the whole world against us. If God be for me, it's more than the whole world against me. I've lived it. And I'm still living it. And I will continue to live it. Prove it. You can't do this without God. Our enemies will eat us up. Chop us up into minuscule pieces. Blend us up. And probably pour our remains in their farmlands. Give the plants some nutrition, something. We can't do it without God. Never leave your God's side. That's your protection. That's your insurance. That's your real security. You gotta know how to play this game. If you're gonna play the game and if you want to win, you have to know how to play this game called life. God is a power up. God is a boost. You know when you're playing video games and you got like boosts that give you extra powers, that's what God is in the game of life. That's why people call on these deities and their ancestors and they do black magic. It's boosts, it's power ups, but there's no power up and no boost like God. If you leave from here and you choose to ignore everything I'm saying, it's not because I haven't done my job and delivered the message. So whatever you choose to do with all this talking that I'm doing, all this information, all this priceless information, this life-changing, generation-saving information that I'm giving you, if you choose to ignore it, that's your business. I've done my job. Okay? Okay. Two hours what? Of work. It's not a game. I'm called for duty. I'm here at work. Today could be the first day of the rest of your grand life. Living grand. Creating a prosperous future. Setting the precedence for your youth to continue. If you should leave this realm of the living. Because I don't believe in death. Death is an option. Give a man a fish and he'll eat for a day. Teach a man how to fish And he can feed for a lifetime. And if he teaches generations how to fish, they can feed for their lifetime, and so on, and so on, and so on. We cannot do it without God. Telling you to work with God is me teaching you how to fish, teaching you how to play the game of life and win. You cannot win without God. Your enemies will devour you in 0.5 seconds. My enemies would have devoured me in 0.5 seconds. And with God, it's a trade-off. If you want God to save your life, what are you willing to do for God? That is the question. Just like you make deals with any and every other body and entity, what are you willing to give in return for God's protection and guidance? How willing are you going to be to trust in the process? How teachable are you? Because I suspect you have a lot of things to unlearn and relearn. You need to deprogram yourself from the nonsense information that you've learned up to this point of your life and reprogram yourself with the winning information. I've walked the walk. That's why I can talk the talk. Okay? I've walked that way. That's why I can show you the way. And I couldn't do it without God. At first, I was determined to stand on my own because I was built that way. But then God showed up in my life like, yo, I'm here. I was like, oh shit, sorry. Let's do this. Thank you for being here. Lest we believe that we're doing it of our own power. We are nothing but dust. We are powerless of ourselves. We ourselves are powerless. Okay. That's why we rely on each other for support, when all we really need is to first rely on God. Because you see, when you rely on other people, they use what they have against you to control you. They treat you terribly because they know that you need them, or you told yourself that you need them. So then they capitalize on that desire that you have, that need that you have. Put your trust in God and tell these people, fuck off. Do you have the faith to do that? I doubt it, but I've delivered the message. I pray you find the faith to do that. See what other doors God open up for you if you say no to someone who is unworthy of what they're asking of you in return for whatever it is you need from them. God didn't put us here to kiss nobody's ass. And let fighting be your very last resort. There are other ways. No blood needs to be shed. Egos need to be put to death. War against spiritual wickedness. Egos and that idiot's philosophy. Whatever philosophies he lived by, he has allowed himself to believe that you need him. You need whatever he and China have. God can provide whatever this is that you need. You don't have to kiss nobody's ass. Keeping Africa in a subdued state all the while because you refuse to invite God into your situation. Stop it. You cannot do it without God. Bow to God. If you want to bow to anybody, bow to God. It don't matter which God you praise. God is God. Because there's only one God. Different identities, different whatever, but there is one God. But God comes to people and show up to people however they're open to receive it. So if you're an Allah person, praise your Allah. Put your trust in Allah. If you're a Jesus person, put all your trust in Jesus. If you're a Buddhist, put all your trust in a Buddha. If you're Krishna, put all your trust in your Krishna. These are all different representations of the one God. If you're a Rastafarian, put all your trust in Rastafari. I'm Rastafarian. When I call on God, I call on a Rasta God. When I call on Emperor Haile Selassie, Rasta God. The Rastafari. That's his name. Rastafari. And I'm still here beating my enemies. So clearly there's power in Rastafari. I get some of my teachings from Christianity. There's power in the word, no matter what denomination it come from. So trust in your God, no matter which God it is that you choose, that you resonate with. That's what's important. Trust in the God that resonates with you. And if you feel like changing, change. If you serve one God today and you feel like you're being pulled in this direction to put your trust in XYZ God, then do that. Follow your vibe. There's a reason why you're being pulled that way. See? You're afraid to ruffle feathers. You're afraid to cause controversy. That's why you lose. That's why you keep losing. You're trying to keep the peace with the people and ignoring the call of your soul. Ignoring your spiritual GPS because you don't want to ruffle feathers. You don't want to get cut off from this person and what they do for you and that person and what they do for you. You don't want to be seen as crazy by the world. They'll keep losing then. They used to say I'm crazy. I don't think many of them have that opinion of me anymore. But I had to endure through being called crazy and not give a fuck. Because it's funny how I'm not crazy any other time until I start talking about my life story and what's going on behind the scenes. All of a sudden then I'm crazy. It's like these people aren't even making sense. So why am I even going to put your opinions of me above what I know and what I'm experiencing? Fuck you and your opinions. I'm the one who suffer on a daily. I'm going to speak my truth. And by choosing to speak my truth out loud, it subsided all the attacks considerably. Why? Because these people who attack me, they thrive on secrecy. They don't want the world to know that they truly exist. That's part of the charade. I'm saying all this to say you need to be true to who you are. The truth shall set you free. In order to win the game of life, you have to be true. I just saw news media, and at the bottom of the deck was quit. I don't know what that means to you people. Okay. I was willing to ignore it, but I feel compelled to share. So it was a news media card that turned over, and the underlying issue was quit. You know what that means to you. So this is the last deck. So the subject matter, I just had to finish it because it was a nice little melody. Ooh, look. That's the subject matter of this part of your message. Fear. We spoke a lot about fear throughout this message. Let's see. What does God want to say? Okay. So, the first card we got is the Ministry of Finance. Isn't it always about the money? Got gang leader. Okay. So the leader of the Ministry of Finance, whoever is in charge. But I don't know for which. Is it on Ibrahim Trarore side? Is it on China's side? Is it on America's side? Okay, so we got gang, advocate of good, public party. Okay. So we got the laws of the land. If that is government funded, I'm starting to feel like the gang leader is God. So the laws of the land, government funded, and we got dentist. So dentist talks about the mouth. Dentist is someone who works on our oral health. Government funded oral or oration. We're going to look into the dentist card, get a clarifier, just to make sure we're understanding it right. And we have the force to do it card, but it was in the reverse. So before we continue, let's check. Feels correct like this. Okay, so it's upright. That's what I was thinking, like, that don't even look right. Okay. So before we continue, the underlying issue is adolescent. So what's an adolescent? Is someone who's not really being an adult. An adolescent is someone who is in between child and adult. And then we got hotel, oracle. They are getting paid to do it. Interesting. And then we have surveillance. Converse, so somebody's watching somebody talking. Then we got the prophet or prophetess. Interesting. We got weather, laughing, and then we got the temple, Chinese or Buddhist temple, crying. Resources and their mental manipulation. Exactly. You don't have no business asking them to kiss your ass for whatever resources you have. How about you treat a man like a man? How about you help to train a man into a man? Didn't somebody help to train you into a man? Xi Jinping. So the adolescence isn't gonna last long. A hotel is a place of short stay. So being in your adolescent energy is gonna come to an end shortly. Because the oracle, they're getting paid to do it. And we got surveillance and converse with the prophetess. I'm guessing the prophetess is me. So who is this oracle? So if you have an oracle that you're going to right now to get advice, they're getting paid to do something. And I guess they're watching me talking to you. And where they was laughing, there's now crying. Because of their bad behavior regarding these resources. We got secret, cultural or community center, Ministry of Entertainment, upholding law and order. So it's a good thing that we came in. Because I knew I felt called to do. So I am the Minister of Entertainment, okay. But I'm helping you to uphold law and order. I'm giving you the permanent secretary. Yeah. I have the power. I is the police. Okay? Yeah, I is the judicial system. I am an officer of the real law. I am an officer of divine law. I came to educate you. What you choose to do with this information, I come to educate you on this war. Okay? That you got with this dark person, this person who is on wickedness. I've come to show you the way to win. If you choose to ignore this message, it's on you and your people. So there's somebody, there's an oracle. I'm guessing it's this person. So this is a spiritual war. So you're listening to somebody and they're getting paid to do something. And I come here with my free information. So I don't know what this oracle has been telling you. I suggest that you digest whatever they're saying, or dissect whatever they're saying. Make sure that what they're saying to you is true. Maybe what they're saying to you isn't true, and that's why God had to send me to bring you this message today. But I just felt in my spirit, I need to do a reading today. And then when I came on and clicked on, then I get the information as to who the message is for. So if you've been listening to an oracle, I suggest that you be mindful about what this person is telling you. The answer is so simple. You need God in the equation. You need to step into your divine authority. You need to put your faith in God to be your provider. To be the provider of you and your people. Because if you have to depend on any of these other leaders, they're only going to become your puppet master. That's been the mistake of everybody before you. You've witnessed it. You already know this is going to end badly. So you need to walk a different path, or else you're going to end up with the same result that those before you ended up with. God is your everything. God will ensure you're protected. God will ensure you're cared for if you get hurt. God will ensure you have the money that you need. The real leader of the Ministry of Finance is the Most High God, who created everything. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, or the fullness therein. What can God not provide for you? If you need to pray for faith, then maybe that's where your prayers should start. There is no reason why you shouldn't give God a try. Because you know the other options are a disaster. You already know what you're going to get choosing the other options. Try choose God. If you don't believe in God, tell God straight, yo, I'm not even sure if you exist. If you do exist, please, I need you right now. I want you to reveal yourself to me, to let me know once and for all that you exist. I need you. We need you. So government funded to dentists, I'm getting like, if they give you money, then they get to tell you what to say. They get to become your puppet master. You'll be forced to do what they want you to do because you believe that they are your provider. So now you come out in the public and you start talking one bag of nonsense to make people wonder, well, wait, what the hell? You become just like every other African leader before you that fell for the trick and thereby put Africa in the state of dependency that it is in when it should be an independent country. Africa has everything that it needs to become an independent country. Where have you people been going wrong? That everybody else from outside, everywhere else can come in and take a piece. And run things, tell you how to run your own country and how to govern your own people. Only God can combat the devil. Because for your brother or your sister to see you in need of help and they choose to belittle you in order for you to get that help from them, that's devilish behavior. Only God is any match for any devil. You need God-like faith, God-like courage, God-like wisdom, God-like intelligence, God-like partners, God-like support. You need to surround yourself with God. Or else expect to lose. And for Africa to forever, or for Africa to continue, I should say, not forever, because there's going to come somebody that's going to rise and really stand against all this outside infiltration that's been making Africa, that is supposed to be a first world country, into what it is now. A landmass controlled by everybody except for those who actually own it by birth. That's like you have your house, you buy your house, and other people come in your house and telling you how to run your house. You can't make no decision. You can't decide what color it is. You can't decide what kind of sofa. You can't decide what kind of bed. You can't decide which bedroom is yours. You can't decide anything. And you can't touch anything or do anything without their permission. Make yourself make sense. But the house belongs to you. Fear. Only God can conquer fear. That's all I got to say. I'm out.